And that's Mama. And that's me.
We're all so cute and so matchy-matchy. What's your favorite part?
I like Daddy.
Mm-hmm.
He looks kind of funny. See, he had headphones on at least.
Cassidy, are you doing some crafts?
But we learned, she said this isn't alive, so she can put it on this, because this chair is not alive. Not on our wrists, not on our fingers.
Here, homemade bread.
Excuse me, whose bread?
Mama's bread. Mama's sourdough bread.
Oh.
I want pumpkin bread. We made pumpkin bread last night, and it is so delicious. You should try our pumpkin bread. Because it has pumpkin bread. Pumpkin bread. Here, I'll bring this. Please, pumpkin bread.
Sure, you
Wanna
want
share?
Want some? No, Mama. Mama.
pumpkin,
No.
raisin,
Walnut. Sugar.
Kinsley, tell them who made this.
I did.
That's what I'm talking about.
I wish you guys were here. Then you could eat it.
Did you do bread hands with Mommy? Oh,
Bread-
God. Remember bread hands?
How can I forget?
Remember?
Cutting the bread.
I love
Come
bread
on,
about
spread
this.
this. Put the butter around. That's good.
So good. Alex, tell us about today's video.
Okay, we're kind of changing up our vlog, and it's when something's put on our heart to share. It's been pretty chaotic over this last week, and running a home when you have ADHD is really hard. And if you don't have ADHD, it seems from an outsider, it can just appear lazy. I think a lot of people with ADHD feel that pressure to feel like you just feel lazy even though it's just a lot going on with your brain. And so running a home with a husband that has been clinically diagnosed with ADHD since he was a kid, and a spouse who I didn't think I had it for a long time, but I definitely have a lot of tendencies even if I haven't been clinically diagnosed. Is that what you would say?
Yes. But let's also say that ADHD is also what makes us so entertaining. There's so many benefits to it, right? We get bored so quickly of things that we just go, well, let's just try to make a different loaf. Hey, let's try to do it another way. The thought behind today's video is we want to show you some of the rhythms that we have in our family and things that we've really worked hard to improve on in the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years of our own life.
For me, for ADHD, I do have the strength of hyperfocusing, which really helps us balance, but it's really hard to run a typical household when you have ADHD. So I am going to share today something that I really had to dive into extra hard this week, which was how to get our ADHD very messy home back into a functioning order. So I have a bunch of tips from the cleaning department to preparing to organizing that honestly has changed our home so dramatically that I really don't want any of you guys to miss having these nuggets and tools in your tool belt. And I promise you, you are going to see such a transformation in your home. You are going to love these. Okay, so let's move on from morning snack and go to the hardest category for an ADHD household, which is keeping it clean. So I actually wanted to clarify. So ADHD is a hot topic and a lot of feelings that come with that. So my husband was clinically diagnosed as a child and he got retested recently, and there is a scale when it comes to ADHD, and he falls under the severe category. And you might not have known that. Following us for a long time, it's just very easy to not know everything about what goes on in people's lives. Hello.
Hi. Hi.
Okay, last time.
Hi.
So for me, I would fall like that. It's really hard to focus. So for me, I would fall more in the moderate category. I have a lot of different coping skills than Philip, but it is still significant. So I am here to...
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. But this is everyone's motherhood, so we can all relate. So I am speaking as someone who struggles in their household. And so for some of my friends, they run their households very efficiently. And so I'm hoping to speak to someone who might be struggling right now. And especially if you even just have a spouse that struggles or a child, I see you. It is hard. So I actually really wanted to film this video for a week, but I was honestly too embarrassed to show you. This right now, this is massively clean. This is so clean. So I'm fine. I was even going to show you yesterday when I tackled my bedroom, I had a pile of clothes from the wall that came out to the bed. I kid you not. There was a picture Philip sent me of someone that showed their laundry as their Christmas tree. And I think I could have trumped theirs. It was huge. A month ago, we came home from a trip, and I promised I was not going to do this again. But I did. My suitcase sat there for a month. And my kids emptied their suitcases out the very next day. It's a struggle. My goal is for us to raise capable kids that are better than us. It might be very hard for me, but implementing these tips and tricks, I am hoping that their life is going to be so much easier. They won't have the same struggles that I do. So my very first trick that I implemented this week, hard and strong, is not for a typical household. This is for someone who struggles like I do. And with ADHD, something new, something fun is what drives you versus something that feels boring. Philip came home and I was almost in tears of feeling like I feel so gross in my own house everywhere. There was not a surface that didn't feel cluttered and messy, and it was just a bomb. And we all get there. That is very relatable. We all can feel that. So the first thing I did was actually just focused on one room, and I rearranged the furniture. That forced me to move everything, vacuum, mop, and there is something that really brings Philip and I a lot of joy of having a different setup in a room. And I've been wanting to try this setup for years, and I just didn't bring myself to do it. But while we were moving everything, we cleaned up this entire space. So even though every other room had stuff going on and it was still messy everywhere else, I had one room that I could go sit in that was finished. That is my second trick that we are going to bring into every single situation, and you're going to go through this saying every single time. It has been the most life-changing phrase for me. It actually came from Philip's parents' church, and the phrase is, all the way, right away, the right way. Kinsley's saying it. We now say this. This is our family phrase, and it has changed our lives immensely. And it might sound normal and easy to somebody, and if it does, amazing. But can you understand that someone with ADHD, it is one of the hardest things to say and to follow through and to do. So if you either don't struggle or you do struggle, it is an amazing phrase. Are you doing it all the way, right away, the right way? With this room, I am going to show you my new room that I am so excited and I love so much. And Kinsley is sitting in it, and it is reorganized, and I have loved it. I feel like a grown-up. I am old, and I now feel like a grown-up because I have a nice...
You're not old.
I'm not old, says Kinsley.
Hi.
Kinsley is going to show you our other tricks of how we go about cleaning and how we go about tackling it, because this room is not cleaned up, which is fine. We had some projects and art projects this morning. Moved this, moved the chairs, and it is now this common room. This is my great-grandmother's chair. So I'm gonna grab the other girls and we can all show you how we tackle this room. But can you teach them the 3 ways that we tackle a room? Zones, clockwise, and topic by topic. Which one do you want to teach them about?
Clockwise.
You want to teach them about clockwise. Okay, so how do we do clockwise?
So when we're in a room, first we do
12 o'clock.
12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and then 6 o'clock, and then 7 o'clock.
All the way around.
All the way around.
To 12 o'clock. So when you have ADHD, and even when you're just overwhelmed as a mom with a crazy, busy, hectic household, it can just feel so overwhelming. And so what we will do is we will stand in a spot. So we will start at 12 o'clock and we will only clean what is in that area, and we will go around. That is extremely, extremely helpful when your brain can feel really scattered. Our second trick is to go zone by zone. That's kind of the bigger picture. We will pick, let's all tackle a zone, which means we pick a room, and we will only focus on that zone. We will not leave that zone. And the third one is topic by topic. That is really helpful for little ones. So I will assign Cassidy to shoes. Any shoe that is in that room, that's all she's responsible for. And then when they're done with that topic, they are just zeroed in. It's almost like that hyper focus. You are just focusing on that one thing. Callie, can you just pick up the pillows off the floor and then come to me and we will go to the next topic. So those are 3 ways that we will go around and clean intensively all together and not feel so overwhelmed. Now, my next little trick that goes along with the zones cleanup is called a catch-all. So I don't want to be leaving the room and going to put that away because I will get distracted and I will not come back to that room. I think I am. I will tell myself 100 times, you're in this room, do not leave, do not lose focus. We are here in this room, and I will still get sidetracked. And so we have something called a catch-all.
And then we have tidy zones too.
And we have tidy zones. That's kind of part of our zones. Hello. So the catch-all, usually it's a laundry basket for us, will be a saving grace to help yourself not get distracted. And the hardest part, honestly, that catch-all has been sitting there for days, is actually going and following through all the way, right away. The right way is cleaning up the catch-all bin. And we all have to work together. So another way I help the girls not get so overwhelmed, because I can relate with me feeling ADHD and my husband kind of exploding things and lots of I keep saying ADHD, and I don't want to keep referring to that, but just kind of a chaotic, having a hard time with follow through. A trick I will teach them either when we're in the playroom and it feels very overwhelming, or we're doing the catch-all, I tell them to pick up one item, look at just that item, and put that item away. Don't look everywhere, because it can be so easy to pace around and look at everything and feel overwhelmed. You just quickly, without really noticing it, just pick up one thing and you look at it, and then you tackle just that. And that's what we will do with our catch-all, is we will all grab a thing, look at it. We do have to scatter into the different rooms, put it in its home, come back until the catch-all is done. So I kind of got on a roll with reorganizing the rooms. So the rug that used to be in here, I actually brought it out into the dining room to kind of finish off this area. And I'm actually not a really big fan of furniture pointing at a TV. However, we have been watching Christmas movies for a little while now, and Christmas music even longer. Yes, we are that obnoxious family doing it very, very early. But I actually moved all of the furniture to be in this big straight line looking up at the TV, because we have been having a lot of movie nights. So for now, it brings me joy reorganizing and having a fresh new space. And if you missed my Instagram post, James, our puppy, is trying to play with our 3 new kittens. Hi, everybody. Oh, you're running. Over there. Leave it. Good boy. Don't worry, they actually play really well together. Go ahead, Brownie. Oh, what was I saying? Okay, they are tackling the arts and crafts cleanup. Yeah! Awesome. So I know this last part of my cleaning tips makes some people uncomfortable, but honestly, it has been life-giving our entire marriage. And that is to not expect to have someone praise you and give you that affirmation that you're looking for, but to actively seek it out. Now, that is Philip and my major love language, which is words of affirmation. So that's why this tip for us is very, very effective. So what we will actually do is I will go up to Philip and I will say, can I show you what I did today, what I accomplished today? And I will hold his hand and I will walk him around and I will point out, even down to, look, I dusted the baseboards. Philip, with ADHD, would never notice. Our bathroom a couple of days ago had dust bunnies and to me was just a dirty floor. And I asked him, did you notice that the floor was vacuumed? And he said, I'm so sorry. I didn't even notice. So I am not sitting here expecting him to notice, waiting for him to notice, and feeling discouraged that I am not getting affirmed and because he's not noticing what I did all day. Instead, what we will do is we will hold each other's hand and I will point out what I did. And he will actually do the same thing with me. But we will encourage our kids to do the same thing. That might be at the very end of a cleanup session, and they will go around and point out and see what I did? Look what I did. I helped the family because of this. Or we can wait till the end of the day and we will do it all together. And it has been a...
Can you see my butter hand?
Can you see my butter hands? Okay, go wash your hands.
Good job.
Hey, don't waste that. Go put that on some bread. So when cleaning is extra, extra hard, especially when you have someone in the family with ADHD, going that extra mile to show off or to encourage, it is one of my favorite tricks for running a messy household with people with ADHD. Okay, so while we shared those tips, we got this room completely picked up. Mind you, it was not bad at all. So switching from cleaning to our next category, which is being prepared. With ADHD, it is very, very, very hard to be on time. And unfortunately, the friends that know me the closest know, unfortunately, how often I am late to everything. And so we actually have to get going. We are running out the door, and we will be right back with our next category of how to run a messy, crazy ADHD household.